जब हम टॉक्सिकोलॉजी पढ़ते हैं ना तो उनका एक स्टेटमेंट है, is not what is poison, is not everything toxic, all that matters is the dose. Okay, this were the words by Paracelsus. तो ये ऐसे लोगों को भी फॉलो करता था. सो एल्केमी हो गई, रिलीजियस टेक्स्ट हो गए. ही यूज्ड टू लाइक सारी चीजों को निचोड़ के पी जाता था इंसान. ही वाज दैट काइंड ऑफ पर्सन. But and at that point he realized that even he has to speak, he has to let this thing get out. And that is where he wrote one of his very good poetry, which is named as The Poison Tree. So it goes this way. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not. My wrath did grow. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. And I sunned it with smile and with soft, deceitful wiles. And it grew both day and night, till it bore an apple bright. And my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. And into my garden stole, when the night had wheeled the pole. In the morning glad I see my foe outstretched beneath the tree. So in this entire poetry, he is saying that when he was very angry with his friend, he told his friend, "Hey, friend, I'm angry with you. Okay, I will be honest." And all of a sudden, that anger all disappeared. Chala gaya. But when he was angry with his enemy, he did not tell him. तो वो अंदर रह गया. एंड दिस इज व्हाट जनरली एटलीस्ट आई डू. अगर मुझे जो इंसान मुझे पसंद है एंड मुझे उस अगर उस पे गुस्सा आ रहा है तो मैं जाके नहीं बोलता उससे कि आपकी ये बात मुझे अच्छी नहीं लगती. एंड देन व्हाट हैपेंस, ही वो बात अंदर ही अंदर रह जाती है. सो इट इट एक्ट्स लाइक दैट सीड. एंड इंडीड वो सीड जो बीज है वो देन धीरे धीरे और एक बड़े पेड़ की तरह उगता है. इट इट बिकम्स वे मोर डेंसर एंड वे मोर लाइक अगली, आई वुड से. बट उसमें एक फ्रूट आता है ना, द फ्रूट ऑफ जेलसी एंड डिसाइडफुलनेस. कि अच्छा, अब बेटा तू आ, तेरे को बताता हूँ मैं. And then one fine day, out of that cunningness, see this cunningness, this behavior, this nature, ये उसमें उगता है. ओके, एंड दैट कनिंगनेस जब वो मैं अपने फो को खिलाया मस्त, एंड ही डाइड बेसिकली, है ना. समथिंग बैड हैपेंड यहाँ पे. बट यहाँ पे इट इज नॉट जस्ट माई फो दैट हु डाइड, इट वाज आल्सो मी, बिकॉज नाउ आई हैव बिकम मोर लाइक हिम, और आई हैव बिकम वे मोर वर्स्ट पर्सन. वाई? बिकॉज मैंने वो सारा का सारा जो इमोशन था वो मेरे अंदर ही रखा, बॉटल अप होने दिया. राइट. एंड देन वही आती है ना बात की, देन करे तो करे क्या, बिकॉज ये तो बढ़ने वाली है. स्ट्रेस तो होगा ही, गुस्सा आएगा, इमोशंस आएंगे. सो हाउ डू वी गेट आउट ऑफ इट? एंड यहाँ पे देन आई केम अक्रॉस दिस टू थिंग्स, that is about the philosophy. If is philosophy a thing that can be done? कुछ अलग हो सकता है क्या? You know, can philosophy help into it? Because uh, at the end we need something that can always guide us. Religion is one, true. Does it work for few? Yes, for few, no. But one thing that works for everyone for sure is philosophy. So the two major philosophies, the Eastern philosophy and the Western philosophy. So Eastern philosophy says, in general, again, it says that whatever we do, okay, whatever our actions are, they are mere the body and the mind that is doing it, and we are nothing but just an observer. And then there is someone way above us. So Atma ke upar Paramatma, right? The God who is making us do this. So the reason to bring Paramatma in between, okay, God in between, is that कि हमें ज्यादा लोड नहीं लेना, हो रहा है वो हो रहा है, right? We cannot hold ourselves responsible for everything every time. So with that, ये जो कंसेप्ट होता है ना कि बहुत ज्यादा हर चीजों का स्ट्रेस लेना या हर चीजों की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज उठाते उठाते उसके नीचे दब जाना, वो शायद कम हो जाए. And that might have worked. Now I do not exactly know कि वो काम किया, but it might have worked. Okay, and this is where again I bring Blake into the picture, like because Blake had also talked about it in one of his poems. So the name of the poem is The Unburdened Mind. In the quiet of the morning hush, where worries fade like morning mist, let thoughts like bird unfettered rush and find release in nature's kiss. No longer chained by worldly strife, unbind the mind from anxious sway. Embrace the stillness, let life thrive, and let your soul in freedom play. Like a wild flower, free to bloom, cast off the weight of daily toil. In simple moments, find your room where inner peace begins to boil. So over here, Blake is simply trying to place that sometimes you have to take things easy. Okay, do not take the responsibility of everything every time, and basically responsibility as a sense ki do not blame yourself for everything. Okay, and now यहाँ पे, what I was talking is the making a distance in between your mind and your consciousness, that is the observer and the doer. And for that, many techniques were then later created by yoga or many other sources. And or the best thing that can be done is use of certain medicines, like let us say herbs, right? And that is what cannabinoids do. That's one of the purpose of cannabinoids. Okay, it creates that gap. But the point is, your brain, our brain is naturally capable to do that. Okay. Now, nahi, ganja nahi pina sabko. I do suggest that. Okay. Now comes the Western philosophy. So, Western philosophy, I'm specifically pointing out the Stoicism and or one more individual named Friedrich Nietzsche and his Uberman concept, or what we also call as Superman concept. Okay, so over here, this school of philosophy says that you have to own everything. You have to be strong, or you die, or you suffer. Either be strong or suffer. That is what even Nisha believed in, right? But यहाँ पे होता क्या है कि at this point when we try to take responsibility over everything, there will naturally be a friction happening, because कभी कभार नहीं करना चाहते फिर भी करना पड़ता है, बिकॉज देयर समथिंग कॉल्ड एज राइट और रॉन्ग, एंड देन उसके बीच में वी ऑलवेज कीप ऑन स्वेइंग हियर एंड देयर, right? So the point is that will create stress, and stress is inevitable. And this is where I think why we still say that stress is a resource. It is inevitable and it has to be managed. Okay, but ultimately I still remember when we talk about Nisha, he was the same person who had a mental breakdown in public when he saw a horse being whipped. He went to the horse, he hugged him, he cried, okay, and he fainted. And that was his last public appearance, because after that he was bedridden. And then obviously he died. So that is something. And that is where, the human nature, where Blake again talks about it. Okay, that is human nature. It comes by his poem named A Divine Image, where he says, Cruelty has a human heart, and jealousy a human face, terror the human form divine, and secrecy the human dress. The human dress is forged iron, the human form a fiery forge, the human face a furnace sealed, the human heart is hungry George. Okay, so over here, what happens is when it comes to humanities, we do have this other side. And this is where again, Mr. Carl Jung pops up. Somewhere I always think Carl Jung actually drew much inspiration from William Blake. It seems like because their works match a lot. Because William Blake, he used to describe poetically or in paintings, he used to talk about demons. He used to talk about human reasonings and sufferings, and the same aspect was also been portrayed by William Blake and Carl Jung. Carl Jung also talked the same thing. He called it the shadow side or the shadow form, right? Because if we are something, there's exactly contrary inside. So the point is, both of them are to be merged. Both of them are to be understood. Only then the shadow form can be, you know, tolerated well, and it can be enhanced well. So technically, when you feel that you are getting angry और आपको कुछ चीज सही नहीं लग रही, तो it's always good कि वो बोल दिया जाए. What if it backfires? It will be problematic in the beginning. शायद से it might not work in the world that we live in today, but for sure this will stay the way it should have been. It will be healthy, and with that healthy mind we can still work better, we can do things better. एंड ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या ही होगा, विलियम ब्लेक की तरह हमारी काम की अहमियत शायद से तभी ना समझे, आगे जाके हमारे पे ही रिसर्च करेंगे फिर, यू नेवर नो. एंड विद दैट आई एंड दिस टॉक.